Hey kiddos! Well, I'm out here this morning doing my intro for my video today. It's going to be on a playlist over at Crafted by Corie, and she always has a cup of coffee in the morning, so I thought I'm going to take my coffee outside in my ginormous cup that I'll never drink all of today, or you guys couldn't stand me. But anyway, there is going to be a playlist link down below, and I want you guys to go click on it and go over and see all of the great stuff that everybody's making today. This challenge is a tiered tray or tiered tray minis, and that means the little things that you put on top of the trays or on the tray. So it has to be small enough to fit on a tray. So all but one of them would have fit on my trays, but I got a little carried away. So it's something for my kitchen, and I think I can use it on my biggest tray, but we'll see. Anyway, y'all go watch. All right, let's get started. You need 2 pizza pans. You need 4 of these little St. Patrick's Day pots. You need some beads that'll go all the way around the rim of your 2 pizza pans. Caulking for later on, E6000, and hot glue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a small 2-inch section of hot glue, and I'm going to start placing the beads around the rim of the pan. That pan is upside down, so you want the 2 bottoms of the pans to meet. So this is the one side. I'm just hot gluing these beads down. I got these beads at Walmart. They were $5.83 for the little bucket. I think there was about 1,000 beads in there. They're all the same shape, so they're all going to fit together. Now you can see I'm putting the last ones in there. You might want to measure out with your beads beforehand. Now this is the bottom side of the pan again. I'm putting the E6000 on it. I'm also putting, and I'm putting that around the rim and in the middle, and then I'm going to put some hot glue in there to hold it while I'm doing all this other stuff to it. And then I just set it down, and I set something heavy on it until it set. Now then I'm going to take all the little handles off the pots, and then I'm going to fill them with hot glue. And that is just to give them some weight in the bottom of them because they seem so light. Now I got this idea for using these pots as feet from Heidi Sonboul. And they worked awesome. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have cut me some popsicle sticks, and I'm wanting this to look like a flooring pattern. So I'm going to put the caulking in there and spread it out. I think I have a piece of cardboard there is what I spread it out with. Do not do this real thick. Do it super thin because it's going to squish up between the popsicle sticks. You know, listen to me. Don't do as I do as I say kind of thing. So I just spread this out kind of like cake icing for a cake. So I put some gloves on because this stuff gets messy. So you can see how I'm doing about a hat. I can't remember it's not herringbone is this pattern. I don't know what you call it, but just like flooring is laid. That's how I thought of it the whole time. I cut the ends off the popsicle sticks, and then I just kind of mushed them down into the caulking. So this caulking is going to hold it. And then I have extra pieces. I have some of those small pieces to the side. You can see I'm going to fill it in here in a minute. Now your popsicle sticks may be bigger than mine. These were the large popsicle sticks, but not the largest popsicle sticks. So that's as best as I know how to tell you what size those are. I believe these did come from Dollar Tree. And I had just enough in the package to packages. I think there was 2 packages of these that I fit in there. So I just piece my pieces and cut around. Now, if you were using the, what's that one called? It's not a pizza pan. That's a pizza pan. The other one is like a rectangle pan. I don't even know what you would call that one because it's not a cake pan. It's a cookie sheet. If you were using a cookie sheet, this would be a whole lot simpler. This round was a little hard to cut the end pieces for, and I knew that going in. I just didn't realize that I would be this off. So some places there is a pretty good gap. So later on in the video, you're going to see, which won't be long because I'm trying to do it really fast, is that I put more caulking around it and just cover it up. And I'm trying to keep the caulking off the top because at first I think I'm going to stain it. But after all was said and done, I had to use the caulk to fill in the cracks. But it gave it this real awesome antique-y, cracky look that looked like it was 105 years old. You know, when you've been on somebody's front porch and they've painted it and painted it and painted it, instead of sanding it down. This is what this reminds me of. So in the end, I'm extremely pleased with it. This is one of my favorite projects. I've been saving this for the right collab to do with someone else. And in the end, I wound up doing a challenge with it because I couldn't find quite the right person that wanted to collab with me on this. So it was a lot of fun. And this one is just, it's my baby. I loved it. But anyway, so I go in and I start filling in the cracks with caulking. And I'm filling in with wood right now, but here in a minute I'll fill in with some caulking if I... Oh, there, I had to speed up this video so it wouldn't take so long because this video is going to be long anyway because we have 5 tiered trays and 10 minis to do today. So you can see how I'm just filling in the rest of the stuff, and then I'm going to... What am I going to do next? I don't know. I can't see. Let's see what I do. Oh, yeah. So then I take the caulking and I'm going around the edges. And I'm just trying to smooth it out. And I'm actually going to put water in it here in a minute and mix in some water to make it more pliable, which is what took this caulking so long to dry. This video I have made over a month and a half ago for this. But I was just waiting for the right time, of course, to post it. Like I said, I wanted to get the right collab. But, you know, I got impatient and tired of waiting, so I wanted to do it. And Corie has offered up this playlist today, and it's just perfect for this. So I'm going in just like spackling a wall and filling in the grooves, and I'm trying to leave it where the wood could be seen. In the end, that did not work out for me because the caulking created a thin layer, excuse me, a thin layer of plastic over it. So there was no sanding that down even a little bit. So what I decided to do was, like I said, paint it, and it created this great layered paint look that just turned out amazing. I first tried to just put some rhinestones around the inside circle and to cover those edges, and that didn't work. So that's why I go back, and you'll see in a minute where I had painted it, and then there's like a circle left around the inside. I pulled those beads back up and, or those rhinestones back up because I just didn't like the look of it. I had a friend help me look at it, and she was like, no, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look antique-y enough. So there you go. When you're cleaning up grout, I don't know if you've ever put bathroom grout out, because that's what this is. It's just white bathroom grout that you put around your toilet or behind your sink or in your tub. So to clean it up, you use alcohol, just alcohol that you get. Right there, I'm using water. But if you're trying to remove it from something, you use alcohol to remove it after it dries. Now, once it's if it's wet, you can wipe it up with a wet rag. It takes lots of water, but you can wipe it up with a wet rag. But even after I cleaned it with water, later on you'll see that I go back here in a little bit, and I use alcohol to clean around everything. Of course, I had it on my hands, I had it on my plate, I had it everywhere that caulking gun messed up. See, there you go. I'm cleaning it up because days later, after it finally kind of dried, and I'm thinking it was a day. I don't really think it was days. It was like a day. But anyway, so I'm going to go in here and I am going to caulk between those beads because that's the look we're going for. Like it's been painted. And now I saw this on somebody's this week, and I'm terrible about it. But I think it was Liz that she did this. And I was like, wow, I guess that's not as unique idea as I thought it was. But anyway, I want to shout out to Liz that hers looked a little bit better than mine, and I'm a little bit jealous. But when you start going, you put the caulk on there, and you and Liz is with the Crafty Nerd. I think she's the Crafting Nerd. I said it wrong. I hope not. But anyway, so you go through here and you put this caulking in between the beads and smooth it in there and push it through those grooves, and it gives you that look that you're seeing out everywhere right now with everything being beaded, and you're wanting to know how they're achieving that. It's usually, I think it's caulking, or they're either using caulking or they're using sheetrock mud, is my two things that I had planned on using it. But since I like to use caulking, to me it's a little bit easier to control. It dries faster. Also, caulking doesn't shrink when it dries like sheetrock mud does. So that was why I chose the caulking instead of mud or wood putty. Wood putty will shrink too sometimes when it dries. Don't ask me how I know all these things. I've remodeled 2 houses, so you have to learn this. But anyway, I'm putting the E6000, I flipped it upside down, and I'm putting the E6000 and the hot glue on these little leprechaun pots, I don't know, pots of gold, and using them as bun feet. Again, like I said, this is an idea that I got from Heidi Sonboul. She had a video. I'm not sure which video it was, but it was a great idea and I loved it. Now you can see around the edges that I have that rhinestone. It's like that little beaded area, and I thought, well, that's what I'm going to do with it. No, I didn't like that. So here in a minute, you're going to see me take it off. The color I'm using is, of course, white Waverly chalk paint. Yep, there I go. Took it all off. And so now I'm going to put these little flat beads that I got off of Amazon. I don't have the link to them. I could look it up for you. I guess I should do that. So I'll look up the link and see if I can find it on my account and try to remember to link that in the bottom. But I just start placing these. I should have measured beforehand, because in the end, when I get to the bottom, I am like I need a half of one, and you can't cut them in half. So what I did was I pulled some of them off and spaced like the last 6 out so that I had an even number, or that I could get evenly spaced in there. So there's about 6 of them that have a little bit bigger gap than the rest of them. And that's how I achieved that, was because to make it look even was by pulling some of them off and actually reducing it by 1. Now I just cover everything with white Waverly chalk paint again, and this did take, I'm going to say it was like 3 coats by the time I got done. So there was the first coat, then 2 after that, or a second one after that for full coverage, and then the touch-ups on the third go-around. And painting in between these beads, it just stinks. I'm just going to let you know, it stinks. And if you start looking really close, I started adding the chalk paint, and I got anxious. I was like, why can't this dry faster? I need this done. And so I get the hairdryer, or not the hairdryer, my heat gun out. I call it the hairdryer because mine looks like a hairdryer where everybody else's looks like a little rod. But mine is an actual, it's a scrapbooking embossing gun is what it is. There you go. And what I did was I glopped a big, huge bunch of Waverly chalk paint on it, and then I heat dried it. And guess what that does? It makes it crackle. And especially the caulking in there did not like it. And so what it does is it starts making that caulking pull back and crack, and you can see it just almost come to life right there, how all of that pulls back. So I just keep doing it until I get as many layers as I like. And here's the end of it. Isn't it pretty? It looks like something your granny had for 100 years. Oh, see all those little cracks? I turned out perfect. All right, the first thing you're going to need for this second tray is 3 of these silver trays from the Dollar Tree, 4 of the 12-inch dowel rods. They're 1/4 of an inch in diameter. You're going to need a 1/4 inch drill bit. You're going to need 4 or 5 packages of these beads from Hobby Lobby. You're going to need, of course, a drill and a piece of wood to drill into. You want to wear safety gloves because this can get dangerous. And what I'm doing here, you see me flipping it around. I'm trying to make all the holes in the same spot on the trays. So I flip it around so that I can keep getting the holes in the correct spots. And it worked. I couldn't believe it. But, you know, for once, something worked out for me. But anyway, when you get your dowel rods on there, you're going to need 17 beads for each one. you're going to need for the bottom layer, it's one, or for the first, the bun feet, that's what I'm trying to say. Good Lord, can't even talk this morning. I've had 2 hours of sleep, and I'm not even joking. I don't know what was wrong with me last night, but I could not sleep, and it was driving me nuts. Probably knowing I had to do this video voiceover today was making me crazy. Anyway, so I put one bead on each dowel rod, and you can either use wood glue or hot glue or E6000. I use the combination of E6000 and hot glue. I know you're not seeing it here, but I eventually go back and put it at the end of each one just for a permanent hold. Now, those beads have a bigger hole in them than those dowel rods, so you're going to have to put something in there, some way, somehow, to cover up the excess of the hole. That's even on the top and on the bottom. Now then, I'm going to thread each dowel rod through with only one bead on the bottom, because those beads are going to act like your feet. Once I get all that done, then the first layer only has 7 beads next, and then a tray, and then 8 beads, another tray, and then final tray on top, and a bead, one bead, to stabilize it all down. Now, something that I would do that I didn't show in this video, if I were you, I would glue somewhere in there. I'd start hot gluing those down, or E6000 them down. Make sure that you are working on a level surface. My workstation is not level, and everything I did today, because I kept thinking, why is everything off? And it's because my work table is not level. There is a bow in it where I used to set my heat press when I made t-shirts. And so I guess the heavy, over time, its particle board has mashed it down. So part of these projects aren't going to be level today, but you know, here's another one of those do as I say, not as I do, because this tray was a little off because of it, because when I started gluing, when it's not setting on level ground and you're gluing to it, it's not going to be level. So mark my words, kids, go find level ground to do your hot gluing and gluing to. All right, so you can see me here, and I'm just assembling it. Whoop, whoop, there I go. Lickety split. There's the second tray. And then here, and you can see where I practiced on this tray to see if my, because I'm going to put some silver leafing on it. It's not gold leafing, but silver. It's the same thing. It's just a different color. This one, I don't know if you saw my video back, a couple of videos back, where it was a thrift flip video. I had done a bowl with some white and silver leafing. And this one is actually going on my cabinet in my bathroom to hold all my little makeups and things that I use every day that I don't want to put in the drawers. And honestly, where I don't have room to put in my drawers. So, anyways, so that's what that little mess on that thing is. Once I spray it and then I cover it up with the gold, with the silver leafing, you'll never be able to tell it. So you will probably see it before I get it, once I get it spray painted, you can see it, but once I cover it in the end, then you can't see it. Does that even make sense? Wow, again, 2 hours of sleep. All right, so I'm putting the final beads on. I'm doing hot glue and E6000. You hadn't seen that part because I do it later on before I spray paint, because it was still a little bit wobbly. And this is like the final set to it. So I kind of mush it here in a minute and rock it back and forth, and I should have not done that on that unlevel table. Now I take it out to the garage, and I'm going to spray paint it, like I said, with a Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte white. And this is some silver leafing that I used. It's actually for scrapbooking. The glue I got at Michael's, and it says for leafing on it. So you just put the glue down a little bit, and then you wait for it to dry till tacky, and not just, what is sop. It's just a little bit. There you go. And this is from Nuvo. And it's just, I think what it is like the leftover pieces from Silver Living that got messed up, because some of it is like rolled up into little folded up into pieces, like it looks like that got messed up, and then other pieces of it are just like flakes flying around. Again, look here, Angie getting impatient using that hair dryer to dry it. And I just put them over there, and then you take a soft bristle brush, not the one that you had glue on, and you brush the silver down over the glue, and then it becomes like a permanent bond. Now you could scratch it off if that was your goal. You could scratch it back off, but just like gold leafing, you can that too. If you wanted it to be something that was going to get scratched up a lot, I would probably put a clear coat over it of Rust-Oleum clear coat matte finish, if that's the finish you're going for. I think that they have this in silver, gold, and rose gold. And I know you can get this on scrapbook.com. And it's about $9 for the little thing. You can also go to Hobby Lobby and buy just the full-size sheets too, if you didn't want the distressed look, which is what this kind of is just like a distressed look. And there's no reason to the way I put it down. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just willy-nilly here and there, and rubbing it along and making it stick to the glue. And then if you feel the brush stick, ooh, yay, she's done. Alrighty, guys. So here's what it looks like decorated with some of the projects from today. All right, you're going to need 4 of these little dessert plastic things. I don't know what they call these things. Anyway, I'm going to use them for feet, and I'm going to use this St. Patrick's Day, you know, those little wooden boxes that they have. I'm going to remove the sticker. I'm going to remove the hanger. And then I'm going to hot glue them feet onto this little thing. And I'm going to make me a little riser. It's not really a tiered tray, but it is a riser. And I do use them like tiered trays. I set stuff on them. I use a lot of risers when I have family dinners and I want to make my table look pretty. I'll use a riser to pull up whatever dish I think I did so good on, but I don't know about that. But anyway, as my mother tells me, I'm a terrible cook, so I guess she might be right. I don't know. She hadn't come over, and I don't know. I hadn't even actually seen my mother since September because of the COVID. So anyways, if you're listening, Mom, hi, how are you doing? All right, so I glued them feet on, and I've turned it over, and I'm going to put rhinestones all the way around the edge of it. And I just these rhinestones came from Walmart. And so I just kind of measure out how I want them to look. I could have put 2 rows on there and it might have looked cuter, I think, after I did it. But 1 row looks just good. I just wanted it to be a small tray to lift up a candle on and put some, you know, little decorations around. Now, when you're putting these on, sometimes the sticky comes undone and you need to do hot glue, and sometimes it don't. This, I got lucky because for some reason it stayed on. Now, here in a minute, I'm going to take it out to the garage, and I'm going to use that ultra white again and spray it. And I liked how it turned out. I thought it turned out cute. It has a little bit of a rough edge, but I was happy. So here is our 4th one, and you're going to need a plate and a salad plate from, well, I got these from Dollar Tree. Now I'm taking Windex and I'm cleaning them up real good, and if you need to, use alcohol on them because you want this to be spotless when you take it out and spray paint it, which is what I did. But you could have always used chalk paint on these too. Now my kitchen is black, so of course I'm going to use black spray paint on it to try to make it match a little bit more in there. Now I have a candle holder from Home Interior, and my mistake was I did not put hot glue when I used the E6000, and it caused it to slide. So I fought it for almost 3 hours till I finally got wise enough to hold the stuff down with other objects to keep it from sliding. You can already see that one is sliding like crazy. So this is a little fishbowl I got from Walmart, or not Walmart, Dollar Tree, and it's not quite tall enough to give you enough room in between the top and the bottom plate. So use something a little bit taller, a candlestick or something like that. This is a metal finial that I bought back in the 90s that when I was gonna do my house western. This is a fleur-de-lis, and I was gonna use it to decorate with. Well, guess where that was? That sat in my basement for years and years. Anyway, I took it out and I thought, well, I'm gonna use that for this. So I get it all and it finally sticks together. I take it out and I use the flat black matte in the Rust-Oleum. I'm loving this new kind of paint. Anyway, here it is all decorated up, and I'm going to use it probably to hold silverware, straws, napkins, things like that. Now here's our 5th tray, and this is that popcorn bucket, and then this is just one of those Christmas trays they had years and years ago. I think I actually picked this one up from a flea market. So it's just a giant tray. And I'm using the E6000 and hot glue to attach it to this popcorn bucket that I turned upside down. I really like the scallop edge on it. And that's why I thought I'm going to use it. If you wanted to make that bottom a little more stable, you could have filled it with a spray foam, but I didn't feel the need. So I took it outside, and of course I gave it a coat of just that white matte spray paint, but I wanted it to have a more textured look. And so I went through and put these rhinestones. I'm big on the rhinestones this week, and put them all along the edge. And then I only put one in each little thing. So I cut them each apart, and then I put one on each side of the corner to make it a little more decorative. And then in the end, I take my white Waverly chalk paint and I paint over the whole entire thing. I cover it really good. I use the spray paint kind of more as a, what is it called? A primer coat, so that I wouldn't have to do so many, or at least I thought I wasn't going to have to do so many of the chalk paint. I wound up having to do it, especially where that red popcorn came through on that bucket. I had to cover it up a little better. So, all right, here I go. And then, oh, I forgot, I put rhinestones around the top of the edge of it too, to give it, just to make it look a little less like a tray from the Dollar Tree. I wanted to give it a little bit more pizzazz. Isn't that a word? Pizzazz. Ooh, I like that word. All right. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. Same as I've done in all the other videos, or all the other projects, is I just keep going. In the end, I should have used hot glue to glue these down, because not that they came off later, but they came off when I was painting them, and I had to hot glue them back in. So I would hot glue or E6000 them, let them dry really good if you were using the E6000, and then paint it over the top of it then. All right, like I said, I'm going to use this white Waverly chalk paint, and I just put a ton of it on there because I want to get it all in between those little rhinestones, and just give it an all over even coat. I'm going to skip through most of the painting. Y'all know how to paint, but I did want to show you that, touching it up and getting it on there. Now I'm going to give you just a glimpse of it because I didn't get any footage of it after I got it done, but you'll be able to look if you look right about, no, I guess I'm going to give you a little more look of how I paint. But now you need to make sure that you flip it over and paint the underneath of it too. I did do that, but I don't think I show it here. Okay, here it is. Look. Dun, dun, dun. Didn't it turn out cute? So we're going to start our minis, and this is going to go pretty quick. So I'm going to give you the simple explanation on most of them. This paper came from Hobby Lobby. I measured the boxes, cut it out what I needed, and then I wrapped it around the boxes. I used a glue stick to glue it on. And then here in a minute, once I get it glued on, I used, I cut a slit in the top so it would go around that little metal piece that holds your picture. And then I didn't exactly measure it, but I went around and trimmed it, and it turned out pretty good. I love these little scissors. They're from, those little black ones right there are Tim Holtz scissors, and I got those at Hobby Lobby. And if you watch your coupons, you can sometimes get 40% off of them, which, I mean, I guess you can't watch coupons anymore. I guess you're going to have to watch for the sale to get the coupon, to get the discount anymore. Sorry about that. Now that I'm going to take some pink paint, and I'm just going around the edges, and what we call this in scrapbooking is you're just going to ink the edges. Well, I'm using paint instead of ink, and I like the look of it. It gives it, it's like distressing is what it is. In scrapbooking, you distress too. You just use an ink pad. So here I'm using paint, and that's kind of what I'm doing, going around the edges and distressing it. Now I Had these two little cutouts. I'm going to put a cutout on each one. I traced on some other paper that I had just got from Walmart like 105 years ago. I think this is one of the first paper pads I ever got 20 years ago, and I never did use it because it was just bright. And some of the pieces were cool, but then some of them weren't. So I cut around the edges on it, and the bunny, I paint the back sides of them. I don't paint the fronts, or I shouldn't have painted the fronts because it didn't matter, but I did paint the back side because they hang off the edge just a little bit, and I didn't want it to have that unfinished look on the edge. So I hot glue them on there, and then I'm going to make me some finger bows for the top of those things. I know y'all see me make finger bows about 1,000,000 times, and you're like, oh my Lord, not a finger bow again. Yep, that's me, finger bow. Loving them. They're super easy, and they zhuzh it up a lot. I like that word, zhuzh it up. My friend Christi says that. Alrighty, so I tied on there, and I even actually put a little bit of hot glue to hold it down. Now I think I'm making the second one for the other one. I'm going to tie it on. Now here in a minute, I'm going to start layering these up, and I put the little pom-pom on my bunny. I got that pom-pom from Dollar Tree. Of course, I get everything from Dollar Tree. And not everything, but a lot of it. I am going through these stickers, and I'm finding the ones that I think I like. And I got all the stickers at Dollar Tree. They are the 3-dimensional ones. And I pick a couple of them out. Well, I don't completely like the background on them, or some of them, they have like, what am I trying to say? They have too much white background. So you'll see me cut those stickers, and I cut what I don't like off, and then I stick the rest of it down. That's exactly how I work that. If I don't like it, I cut it off, and I use what I want. And then I can layer them up. Now there you can see, got it all done, and they turned out so cute for my little pictures. Now here's the second one, and this one was super easy. I got that frame from Dollar Tree. It was $1, and of course I'm using this paper again. It's my theme for the whole day apparently. And I just use the glue stick and glue it on the front. And then I'm going to get those stickers again from Dollar Tree, and I am going to pick the bicycle in the end, because the truck, I liked it, but the pink didn't go with the yellow, I didn't think. So the bicycle had the mint green in there. And then I looked me up some sayings, and you can find all of these little, I'll list the Cricut SVGs down below like I've done for you before, so that if you don't have to fight the wording or anything else. Now, you could have just used more stickers up there. You could have used the rub-ons, but I have a Cricut, so I like to use my Cricut. And I know a lot of people get aggravated at me about it, but I paid a lot of money for that thing, and I want to use it. So, hopefully, y'all understand that. So what I'm doing right there, because I've already cut it out, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have enough room to use it. So, life is a beautiful ride is what it says. And I found that saying on the internet, and I'm not as original as I look. Some days I have to copy a lot. So I cut that out on the Cricut, and then I just start piecing it down piece by piece. And once I get it all rubbed on there, y'all have seen me put vinyl on before. But here it is. I thought it turned out so cute. Do you like this one? Is this one of your favorites? All right, so here is number 3. You're going to need this little picture. Now, you could have used a 5x7 frame, because I think this is about that size. This is the one that I said didn't really fit on my tiered tray very well, but I just thought it was cute. I'm probably going to stick it in my window in my kitchen. What I've done is I've got this picture thing, and I've pulled out that, and I'm trying to take off all that paper that was on there, because all of it was shiny, but it was just paper. So it just took a little bit to sand it down and get it off. Now these wooden spoons, fork, knife thing, I really I don't know, you might be able to eat with them, but I thought they were just decorative. So I painted them black, because again, my kitchen is red and black. Y'all know that. And I cut out this little saying, y'all, time to eat. I think I've said that about 1,000,000 times over my lifetime, but anyways, so I put it on there and with the vinyl from the Cricut, and I'll link that one down below too. I have a lot of Cricut projects today, so if you like them, the SVGs or the files will be linked below. If you have a Cricut, you can use that. If you need it for your silhouette, just let me know. What y'all think? Did it turn out cute? So this is our fourth project, and you're going to need one of these crosses from Dollar Tree, and you're going to remove the back, and you're going to remove the saying off of the front. It did tear the paper, so it took a little bit to get it off, and I was planning on using the front until I got all that paper pulled off. So if yours comes off a little easier, you can use the front of yours and not have the holes on the back. I should have spackled those holes with a little wood putty, or even caulking, or even hot glue would have worked better than what I did. I did nothing, which was a bad idea. So I use a bamboo cutting board. You could have used a flat canvas, or the boxed canvas from Dollar Tree would have worked the same. That's about the same size as that. I painted that cross in the color Pool from Waverly Chalk Paint, and then I just go over the edges, giving it a rough look so that you can kind of see the wood on the edges of it. I just distressed it. Now, I believe I'm making a bow. I can't really see when I'm recording this. I have to kind of guess because it always covers up what I'm actually doing. Now that twine thing that I got there with the little beads on it, I got that earlier in the year from Hobby Lobby. And I think it was like $3.99 and 40% off. So I got it for like $1 and something. But the saying is, no bunny loves you like Jesus. So true. I want everybody to remember that today. Nobody loves you like Jesus. Now, I'm trying to glue this on there, and I get to thinking, that's not going to stick because I got all those little BBs on the back of it. So I'll go back there and I cut all the BBs off the back, not the front, but the back. I made a little bow, and I hot glued the bow onto the cross. And now I'm making some little feet out of those little cubes from Dollar Tree. And I just put 2 back there. Again, my table wasn't level, so I didn't get the desired effect on that. I had to do it like 3 times. But what you think? I just thought this one was precious, and I am keeping it for myself. So this is our 5th project, and if you blink, you're going to miss this one. You need a flower pot, you need some styrofoam, and you need 3 big blue blossoms. This is the smallest pot that we have, or that they have at Dollar Tree. Now I own Dollar Tree. Listen to me. I just bought myself in. Okay, so I'm hot and gluing those flowers in. That's all there was to this one. I wrap the twine around the bottom, and I make me a little finger bow, and I hot glue it to the front. And I'm telling y'all, this one turned out really cute. So depending on what season, you could change this up every time. I've made this before with moss, where I covered the styrofoam ball in moss and then wrapped it in twine, and I thought that was a cute idea too. You could also wrap it in gold twine or gold string, would be really neat, or those little berries that I used on the last one. If you wrapped your styrofoam ball in that after you covered it in moss, I think would turn out really cute. So there's so many little variations with this. You could have decoupaged that pot. You could have done all kinds of stuff, but this is a super cute idea. I really like doing these, and it's super easy. Okay, so here's our 6th project. You're going to need some colorful napkins. These are 2-ply I got from Dollar General. Paid $1 for them. You're going to need one of them little, it's not really the palette one. I don't know what they call that one. It's from Dollar Tree. And you're going to need a chick. I used a chick. You could have used a carrot. You could have used whatever. But the saying kind of goes along with the chick. So first thing I did was paint it yellow and get all of it painted up. And then now I'm going to decoupage these napkins to the front. So these only had print on one side, so I had to use 2 napkins. If you have a napkin that folds out to print all the way, you wouldn't have to use 2. You'd only need 1. Now, to decoupage this on, first thing you do is cut the napkin apart, and you only need 1 ply of this. So, like most napkins are 2 or 4 ply, so you pull all them extra pieces off. You can see me doing that here in a minute, or I guess already. And then you put the Mod Podge down, and then you put the napkins on, and then you put more Mod Podge on, and you rip the napkin off. So that's how I've always done it. It turns out good. It gives it a good solid coat. Now you're going to see me glue that chick on there where I had matched it up, and you can't even tell it because the line goes perfectly with the little chick. And so I'm putting her little bow on there, and now I'm going to put her little saint on there, and one cute chick. And this is going to hold a little baby picture. Here in a minute you'll see it. It's one of my little girls. She's 18 now. When she was 6 weeks old, we had these little angel pictures made, and I don't know, they're just so sweet. But I take one of them little clips. I got it from, I believe, Dollar Tree. They had 2 different sizes, and I used E6000 to clip it on there. One cute chick, isn't that cute? Oh, I didn't show the picture. Shoot for her. All right, so this is project 7. This is not my favorite project. I'm just going to tell you, there's some of these projects you do, and it was just because I had trouble getting that orange cord stuff to stay on there. So, anyway, I paint me 3 carrots, those wooden carrots that I got at Dollar Tree. And I only decorate 2 because I just give up. Because that orange tube and stuff, oh my Lord. So this is a big old flop. I'm just going to say right now, it turned out cute, but it was a pain in the butt. So you hot glue the first one on, and then you wrap it around, wrap it, glue a little bit. Don't glue too much because it'll melt it or it'll stick to it, and it doesn't look right. So I'd change it up and put yarn on it or twine. I saw somebody use twine the other day, and it turned out really cute, but you could paint that twine orange. So, Dollar Tree did it, so I guess we can do it too. Anyway, so I wrap it on there, and then at the end, I tuck that bottom up in there and hot glue it. And I tried using that onion grass to use as the topper for the carrot. Looked dumb, didn't like it. So I cut it all off, and then I go back and I get that boxwood fern that I got from Walmart, and it's like 99 cents a bush. It's one of my favorite plants. Every time I go, I get me 5 or 6 more because I use the stinking stuff like nobody's business. And I just start hot gluing it on. And then here in a minute, I'm going to take some twine because I'm trying to hide the hole in it, and I wrap it around there and cut it. Now, it turned out cute, but it's a pain. All right, so here's our 8th one, and we're going to use this tissue paper I got from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to need 3 wooden eggs, and we're going to paint them that yellow color from Waverly Chalk Paint. I sure can't remember the name of that color, but anyway, I paint 2 of the eggs just on the front and 1 egg front and back. I then decoupage or Mod Podge, put the Mod Podge on the back side or the blank part of the 2 eggs that don't have no color on them, because I don't want that yellow to show through that tissue paper because it would change the color of the tissue. Now, if you wanted to, of course you could, but you got to remember that. So I put the Mod Podge on, then the tissue, then I put more Mod Podge on, and then I pull off, while it's wet, the rest of the tissue paper. Then I have to use my scissors because I didn't get it quite wet enough when I went to pulling it, and it left little pieces, which is no big deal. Now I'm going to distress the edges of the egg that has 2 sides painted. That took me a minute to think. Boy, howdy, 2 hours of sleep. Woo! Here I go. Some more coffee. All right, so now I'm going to put my saying on there, and it says, "So excited." Now you want to put the saying on before you put the sign together, so you're going to need the hot glue gun to put it on there with. And once I get it all rubbed on there real good, I hot glue them all together, and then I'm going to start making me a little flower arrangement at the top. Now, if you want these Cricut SVGs, the links are going to be down below, so they are cut, at least mine, when I saved it, it's all the size that you need for the products from Dollar Tree. But, as always, measure twice, cut once. So make sure that those sizes are right for the project that you're making. Now, if you need any help, or if you need this SVGs, well, actually, I can't give you the SVGs on these for your silhouette. It's only going to be on the Cricut. I'm sorry, because I created all of them in Cricut. But here it is, and I think it turned out so cute. Do you like it? I did. All right, so you're going to get you a package of these carrots, and you're going to paint them, take the sticks out of them, and then you're going to paint them with that Waverly Chalk paint in the orange. And I just like the way it covered. It covers so much better than all the other paints I've ever used, because with some of them, they're just too watery, and these paints are so thick that you usually only have to give them one to 2 coats. On other paints, it can be 4 and 5 coats. So I'm going to hang them up here in a minute, and I'm going to let them dry. Then I'm going to get them down when they're dry.
and I'm going to get my hot glue gun, and I'm going to glue them together because they're going to keep rolling around on me, and I don't like it. So I hot glue them together, and then I'm going to get that ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I think they still have that right now, that polka dot. I thought it was super cute. And then, of course, there's that ticking ribbon that I absolutely love, and I use the last of it here in a minute. It's just heartbreaking because now I don't know if I can find it again. I'm not going to cry. I really ain't. I shouldn't cry about ribbon. But anyway, so I'll make me a little bow. I ain't going to even put you through all that because that took way longer to make a simple bow than, it should have. I don't know what's wrong with me lately, but I can't make bows. So it takes me forever. But anyway, so I don't put you through that torture. I just made a regular little tie your shoe bow. And then I'm going to tie it around, and I'm going to make me a little flower arrangement on here. I took some more of that little boxwood, and I glued it up underneath the ribbon. And I thought it turned out adorable. What do you think? Well, here it is in the end, and I've shown it to you on, well, I guess I didn't show it on the tray, but I thought they turned out cute. All right, here's our 10th project. Now, these bunny bags are just treat bags that I got from Dollar General, and I got 4 for $1, and so I just love the picture on there. So guess what I'm going to do? I am going to basically decoupage it onto a frame. Now, you're going to see me measuring out this all and cutting with this exactly. You don't need to do that. I don't know why I did it, but I kind of did this in pieces, and so I was thinking I was doing something else. I was trying to get straight edges. In the end, I just put it, after I glued it onto the thing, I just go ahead and glue it on there. Now, I got this little box. These were up by the cash register, and so I found 3 of them, and they have sequins in them, and so, of course, I thought that was adorable. It was shiny. I liked it. So I cut the ribbon off, take the back off, which took a little bit, and then I save those sparkles because they do match my little bunny. And then I'm going to take that and I guess I'm cleaning up that frame. I'm pulling out all the little staples and all of that. I clean the frame, of course, so that it doesn't get all gooky. And then, okay, so you can see through it there. So I take the piece that was in it and I flip it over and it's white. So I first glue it down, and then I'm going to glue the sack on top of it. And that white on the back of that rainbow thing keeps the picture from being distorted by the background of the black, because see, that bag is see-through, so you want a white background and it just makes it look better. So I put the glue on there, and then since this is plastic, that glue's not going to dry very fast, so I just take it, wipe it on there, and then I'm going to take my little handy dandy Walmart gift card and spread it out. I'm going to cut around the edges of what I want to save. I'm going to put the sprinkles back in there. Here in a minute, I'll put all of them back in there, and then I'm going to fit it in. And see, I don't like it, so I'm going to put the rest of them in there because I like the sparkle. And I made sure when I turned it over, I saw that it had a bubble in it, so I didn't want that bubble to shake through. So then I just glue it all back together, and that's pretty much the end of it. I didn't even put a stand on the back of this because I knew I was just going to prop it up on my tiered tray. So what do y'all think about it? Here's all the projects that we did today, and I need your opinions. Please leave me some comments, guys. I love to talk to y'all. Give me a thumbs up. And if you've never subscribed to me, I really hope you subscribe today. Also, go down to that playlist that's below and check out all of the great crafters over on Corie's channel. There's going to be, gosh, I don't know, but you're going to get great mini tray ideas and tiered tray ideas. So I hope y'all stick around. So we're just going to go through the rest of the footage and show you all of the projects put together on the tiered trays. I love this one. This one's definitely going in my kitchen. I say that all the time. Y'all, time to eat. But anyway, I found that little honey pot at TJ Maxx this weekend. Isn't it cute? And then here's this tiered, or this one is the small riser. And all my little tiered tray minis to go with that one. And I just kind of like went through and decorated them a little here and there. I was trying to hurry because I had just finished up all the projects and trying to get the footage of them. So I thought, well, I'll put these in here and see if they like it. Okay, so here's our popcorn bucket riser. And do you like my little elf? His hat lights up. He's a cookie jar. I thought he was adorable. Okay, and so I got all these projects. Ooh, you can see the background. Don't look there. Here's the picture of my little baby doll. Wasn't she cute? Oh, Mama just loves her. Okay, so this one was my favorite tray or riser, and to me this was just the most fun. I hope you all enjoyed these projects today, and I'll talk to y'all soon.